Well, turning now to the uvalde-shooting investigation and the new information we are getting this morning about the police response and body cam footage from that day. This has been a long and very difficult process. We hadn't even seen any video of what happened inside the school until 7 weeks after it happened. And now, for the first time, we're seeing that body camera video from officers at the scene.
The city of Uvalde showing it to the victims' families over the weekend. Then last night, the city releasing those videos to the public. And we do want to give you a heads up. Some of what you may see this morning is a lot of disturbing.
Yeah, so much of it has been. Now, before we do get to that, we do want to remind you why all of this is happening. 21 lives, the folks you're looking at right here, they were lost at the hands of a gunman who entered the school, so many of them children. He was not taken out until 77 minutes later. Now, this is after he killed those 19 kids and 2 teachers.
Chris Ottegi is with us this morning. He's been following the story from the beginning. The new report, Chris, blames a lot of different folks from a lot of different agencies. Really, it is pretty aggressive in its condemnation.
Yeah, Mark, up until this point, most of the criticism focused heavily on the district police chief, Pete Arredondo, but the House Committee's 77-page report says the failures extend far beyond him and was released the same day new body camera video reveals even more.
Could you tell me your name, anything I can know, please? Please put your firearm down, sir. We don't want anybody else hurt.
Now that's the voice of Arredondo trying to negotiate with the shooter. Much of the new video shows us officers doing a lot of standing and waiting, like what we saw from the hallway surveillance, but there are some new revelations. The body camera video released by the city of Uvalde shows officers helping children escape a classroom through a window at 11:59 a.m. That's about 26 minutes after the shooter entered the building and 23 minutes after the first officers arrived. There's also a moment where you hear a radio dispatcher give officers this information that came nearly 40 minutes after the shooting began.
You have a child on the line. He is in the room full of victims.
Now, some of the other findings released in the House Committee report, they say there were systemic failures and poor decision-making, not only by local police, but by the 91 state police and 149 federal U.S. Border Patrol officers as well. It found that in total, there were 376 law officers that responded, yet there was no clear or obvious incident commander. Even though he received much of the blame, Arredondo told media he did not consider himself to be the commander on scene. And it wasn't just a critique of law enforcement. The report also has some criticisms of the shooter's family for failing to recognize many warning signs that we're going to talk about in 30 minutes.
After this report, after the shooting, actually, we've seen many school districts, look at their safety plans, really consider what they're doing and if those are best practices. The report condemns what happened at Uvalde ISD, but says, you know what, a lot of school districts across the state of Texas are not following best protocols.
Definitely a moment for these districts to reevaluate some things. And in this case, there was some criticisms in the report about the school district, not necessarily that they didn't have a plan, but they didn't stick to the plan they had in place despite the training that they received on it. The report called it a culture of non-compliance with things like unlocked doors, propped open doors, and also points out that some faculty got the alerts but did not take them seriously. I know a lot of times you go through drills, and when you do so many drills without the real thing happening, you begin to think, oh, just a drill, but not this time.
Chris, so 77 pages of just one fail after another.
Yeah, it really is a tough read, and yeah, just a lot of things that went wrong that probably should not have.
You can see why families are just so upset right now. We had the full 77-page report, if you'd like to read it, on our website at WFA.com. Gives you some more perspective and insight that Chris was talking about, and more from him. We're going to hear from him talking again about the shooter's family in about 30 minutes.